And children learn by watching their parents. They can also learn emotional regulation by reading children's books. Dr. Holly McKenna with Dara Wellness joins us now to explain. And Holly, I was telling you, in my own family, there is a lot of stress on the parents right now, whether it's summer camp or end of school or work or whatever, everything.
Time change, yes.
Just pile it on.
Yeah.
The kids pick up on that.
100%.
And then they're acting worse, you're reacting worse, and it's just a snowball effect. How, as parents, can we stop that snowball effect and help our kids regulate themselves better and regulate ourselves better?
It really is, we talk about like putting your own oxygen mask on first. It really is about starting yourself as a parent or grown up in that child's life and centering yourself, because kids learn by watching us model those behaviors rather than us telling them, you need to calm down and you need to stop crying.
Yeah, what never works on me or my kids? Take a deep breath. Stop fussing.
Not in the moment. It will not.
No, but taking a deep breath is a great tool if you are prepared before that intense moment to use it.
Exactly. If it's a skill that you've learned through different tools, which can be things like Sesame Street or apps, but also what I love talking about, which is children's books. That's a great tool to use to show kids how to build the skills that they can then use when either it's a mommy meltdown or a kid meltdown or both, because it's often both.
So often it's both. You and your daughter wrote a book that will be at the Tulane Book Festival this weekend.
Yes.
Tell me about Inhale, Exhale, Shoot.
Yeah, so we actually wrote this book because of the meltdowns happening in our own house. It was inspired by my son, Jack, but Maeve and I have also dealt with anxiety, and it helps kids learn how to do a belly breath, but through the eyes of basketball and the frustrations that can happen with team sport when you're not quite perfect and you're putting that pressure on yourself. And we have, we use animals so all kids can kind of see themselves in the story. Kanal is our pelican. We like to say he's a cousin of Riptide, who will be there this weekend because, everyone in New Orleans is related. But yeah, so there's lots of, there's our book, but there's also other children's books that are going to be featured at the Family Day, which is super exciting. They're having like a full day this year. They're having an author alley with all the authors. We'll have lots of fun giveaways. But each book has a different character and story, and these are tools that we can use as parents and grown-ups, sitting with our kids, reading these stories and looking at what the characters are doing and how they're interacting and how they are dealing with their frustrations and emotions.
Why do you think it's so good for kids to learn in that way? Like, you're right, they can learn from Sesame Street, they could learn from our modeling, but learning to read a children's book and gain the insight from that, how is that special and different?
It gives me chills just thinking about it. It's really about being in that safe space with your grown-up and knowing that you're safe, you're all cozy. Oftentimes, when we're having our bedtime ritual of reading or just cozying up on the couch during the storm later, you're in a safe space, and seeing how a character maybe is going through a hard time that you can relate to, and being able to sit in a safe space and observe how they're dealing with it and the interactions they're having with their friends and loved ones. And then maybe with your grown-up, after reading the story or during the story, talking about, hey, maybe this is something we can use
how it could
later at school or with your teacher.
Later. Exactly, and you can kind of help them connect the dots. Dr. Holly McKenna, thank you so much. We always appreciate when you come on with good advice.
Thank you so much.